I want to begin by giving a shout out to who I call old school Becky Lou. We all know her, right? And guess who's coming through? Old school Becky Lou, right? There's a new saying, right? So, and Pepe Serna, wow, what a guy. He just came back from Milwaukee to come here because he's showing his documentary. If you don't get a chance to see it, you'll be missing out. But this is one of the reasons we created the Hispanic Coalition for Small Businesses this year. And we said, what, another chamber, another coalition, there's so many. But, I began by saying, I began advocating at the age of 9, knocking on doors with LULAC in Compton and Paramount to help elect people, age 9. So I don't know what you were doing in '69, but that's what I was doing. And so, then you grow up and you do the student walkouts like we did, and everybody said, now it was done, and you join the Brown Berets, and you become a national vice president for the Mexican American Political Association, and all the other Chicano organizations you can get involved in. And Ruben Gonzalez there knows what I'm talking about out there, But it can't be done without the support like of Edison, AT&T, and others that contribute, that help us put it together to make our communities better. And Frank Montez, who couldn't be here, we're having an event tomorrow at the San Bernardino Airport, and it's more than sold out like here. And, he struggles from a traumatic brain injury, even though he's doing all this, and it takes a toll. But we have a lot of businesses who said, well, they don't think I'm a business. Like actors, they're small businesses. Like photographers, if you're in a band, right? If you have an old school car, that's a small business. But the people who are starting this aren't new. Like myself, Frank Montez, who's the past chair of the California Hispanic Chambers, like Rosa, who's a member, and Brian, are attorneys. I could, like Steve Hernandez, who's not here. Have you heard of Latin Heat and Zootsus? Pepe was with Zootsus for a little while. That's where he met with Enrique Castillo, who grew up not far from here in El Centro, right? They're actors, and they produce documentaries. And he says, nobody thinks we're a small business when we join all these organizations. Like me, I'm an advocate for families with children with disabilities in our schools. And we all know how our kids do in school. If they're not doing good at school, you're not going to work, I promise you. Because the single moms will stay home. The dads become frustrated at work. Right? So your kids, and nobody thought, hey, you're not a small business. But we weren't alone. So we said we have to rethink what we're doing so we can better service our community. A lot of farm workers, we find out, hey, I'm being paid as an independent contractor. They're employees, right? Who represents them? And then they don't get paid. And so we created the Hispanic Coalition for Small Businesses to go a little bit beyond what everyone else was doing. We do advancements, we do scholarships, we do have arts and entertainment. Diversity and inclusion is our #1 theme. We do a lot of procurement. If you want to be a certified business owner tomorrow, show up at San Bernardino Airport so the utilities and the banks and the government agencies will contract with your business, because you're losing money if you're not a certified business. With green energy and sustainability, we're already ahead of that in our organization, because the people we brought, Jerry Silva, who was with Edison, we got a lot of retirees jumping in, and we grew from the IE. We're already in the Central Valley. We're already in Arizona, Nevada, Kansas, Texas, New York. Our organization is just ballooned because we're meeting the need that wasn't there. In public affairs, getting out that message, speaking out. Where others are afraid to speak, you're probably going to find somebody like me going up there and say, hey, wait a minute here. I'm the guy who says, basta, enough. you know, and I learned that from my old friend, Ruben Ter from Burkle on that. We used to help Stetzer, and we used to help all the old school people that you guys learn about in your history books, right? But it doesn't end there. I want everybody here to get on your social media and post this, because guess what? When they see all the social media in here, they're going to want her back and say, wow, look at all the businesses this group brought. You know, Pepe was saying how we got to do that, you know, and it's very, very true. So I looked up. So what do? I shop. I'm sorry, I'm very loyal to Latino businesses. I only shop at Latino businesses, even if I pay more. And that's why I posted like a Pomo Menudo about a month ago, and I got 100,000 hits, you know, from my friend's restaurant. Says, I brought in a lot of business, but guess what? It brings businesses. So when you're shopping local at a dress shop, at an event, at an organization, at a bank that's supporting your organization, let them know, because I'm a greenlining. I know Jamie Dimon. Okay, we meet with the CEOs during mergers, for and against advocacies, and we look at the Community Reinvestment Act and how it contributes. And we'll be meeting with Chairman Powell to tell him how his interest rates are impacting our community. Because when it goes up 0.25% in the minority community, they just wiped out our housing. It's that simple. And our housing is our small business, because we depend on that equity sometimes to pay the bills. And when we have no more equity and we can't get access to capital, we don't have a small business. Or we do, because I always tell people, we all started in our garages. And we grew up and became big businesses. But am I overspeaking too much? But I wanted to say, you know, because if we could just give one quick second, because I called old school Becky Lou when Art LeBeau died. I think she wanted to give him a minute of silence, so I'll go ahead and be quiet. And, you know, we all have those old oldies that we remember, those old dedications, you know, and I think that if we all call in, we're going to help her keep her job, or we're going to help her say, I want to talk to those kids, make that dedication, you know, and, you know, you know what, I want to give old school Becky Lou, who comes through, a standing ovation, and I'll end. So thank you. Can you stand